We're here in Westchester, PA, and we're going around doing law enforcement trivia. So, you guys ready?
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
First question. How many laws do you think there are?
There are hundreds. I don't know.
Thousands? 3,000.
Oh my goodness, not enough.
20,000?
20,000? I wish there was only 20,000.
Too many. No idea.
Total?
Yeah, how many do you think?
50,000.
Well, that's close to a year. That's close to how many laws are passed a year. The answer is nobody knows. The answer is there's so many that nobody knows. They pass about 40,000 a year. But the problem with that is that there's studies and even books written that make the case that the average American commits upwards of 2 felonies a day and doesn't even know it. So we could all really be kind of hauled off for any reason, you know, if they really wanted to.
Great.
We could all be put in the legal crosshairs at any point for any reason.
It's crazy and
How does that make you feel?
terrified.
You shouldn't be terrified. That's what makes them win in the end, is if we are terrified.
Which country do you think has the largest prison population in the world?
United States.
U.S.
United States.
United States. They're in for drug offenses. Yeah.
True.
U.S.
Korea.
Korea? Actually, that's not a bad guess.
U.S.
The United States.
United States.
It's true. 2.2 million people in prison. We have the highest number of prisoners per 100,000 people, and most of them are in there for nonviolent drug offenses. So, just selling a little weed, you can be torn away from your family. Now, to put that in perspective, we have about 300 million people in this country, or 350 million people in this country. We have a lot more prisoners than China, who has billions of people, and they're communist.
Seriously?
Crazy.
Do you think that police actually profit from enforcing laws?
Totally.
How so?
Fines and, I mean, I got a $1,000 fine for not having my glasses in my truck 2 months ago.
That's a matter of opinion.
You think?
Well, if they're dirty, they profit.
I would say yes.
No.
Yes, they do.
How so?
For confiscating stuff that belongs to drug offenders.
Suspected drug offenders.
You take those things and sell them, yes. So they make money on that. They also make money on the legal system when someone can't pay a fine and they put them back in jail, and then it accumulates over time the amount that they owe. So yeah, they make a lot of money on that. Yeah.
Yes, because the more people they bring in, the more jobs there's there. You can do random checks, find somebody who has weed that's not doing anything wrong, bring them in. Boom.
They actually get federal grants from the federal government to enforce drug laws. So, and then they actually get extra grants on top of that to receive heavy weapons and to increase their SWAT teams. So SWAT teams are called out over 40,000 times a year just for drug busts, in some cases for $2 worth of marijuana.
I've heard of that.
It's more predatory now. Citations, fines, drug charges, DUIs, all that, you know, pin them against us as much as possible.
Agreed. In some towns, they can get as high as $153 per arrest for any amount of any kind of drug.
Yeah, it's pretty backwards, isn't it?
It kind of flips the whole incentive for what police work is supposed to be. It's supposed to be service.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. It's supposed to be service.
They don't have to even get convictions to get these grants, just arrests. So, like, for example, there was a story, you see crazy things like this. Like, there was a story, I think, a week or two ago, where they used a SWAT team to bust into somebody's house without announcing it. They found $2 worth of marijuana. The dude's howled off, and they can make upwards of $153 per arrest.
So basically, they're doing their version of home invasions and
Getting paid for it.
exactly.
We'll do on this topic. We'll do a bonus question. How many times do you think SWAT teams are called out a year?
I want to say like a good 50 maybe.
Yeah.
50, like 50?
50.
40,000. Does that make America kind of a police state?
I wouldn't go that far. It's just things that at one point in time were useful and have through the course of time have fallen
out of favor as far as enforcing, or even hard to enforce.
You don't think 40,000 SWAT teams a year is kind of a little bit of a police state and the highest prison population?
I don't know. I don't know what else I can compare it to. I don't know what the rest of the world has.
Third question. Do the police have a duty to protect you?
They should.
Yes, they should. Emphasis on the should.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
They actually do not.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I would hope so, but I've seen lots of signs on the news that that's not the case.
They do not. They do not. It's actually a Supreme Court case called Warren versus D.C., where it was ruled that even though it's written right there on the police cars, it says, you know, protect and serve. That's what people think. They have no legal obligation to protect you. And even in that court case, it was up to and including a wife that is, or ex-wife that is being beaten by an ex-husband that they have a protection order against.
Okay.
Pretty nuts, right?
That is crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
No, they do not. No, they do not. It's if you look at a Supreme Court case called D.C. versus Warren, it was actually ruled that they do not have a duty to protect you, and it's your duty to protect yourself.
Really? Well, that can also mean, you know, the Second Amendment as well.
That's true.
The Constitution.
That's true, and you would think that that should be the case, but there's a lot of places that have, you know, gun laws, and they try to restrict that. Pretty surprising, right?
Yeah, considering that we pay them to protect us.
That's what you would think. That's what I would hope.
I feel like police officers are there to protect us. I feel like, I don't know.
It's an illusion of protection.
It could be, but I guess in all actuality, if you think about it, I mean, the society thinks that they're there to protect us, and that's what it is.
We collectively believe that they're there to protect us. That's why.
So doesn't that make it wouldn't that make it a shared delusion?
Yes.
So the whole protect and serve thing is out the window.
It's basically a PR slogan.
That's horrible.
I can't. It's sad because like I can't even say that I'm surprised.
All right, and final one. If you had to guess, how many people do you think the police kill every year
In America,
in America?
10,000.
That I have no idea.
Oh, I'm going to make a wild guess. 10,000.
I don't even really want to guess, because it would probably depress
Would it be
the crap out of
5,000?
me.
The magic number, 40,000.
It's not quite that high. It's not quite that high. The FBI says the FBI statistics are about 400, but that's wrong because the way they collect that data is one, the police departments give that information on a voluntary basis. So if you're, say, Ferguson, and you know you killed Michael Brown, and then they killed that guy at the gas station, you think it might be bad for business to put that information out? You don't have to. And they count police homicides, not police murders. So if there's any killings that are found to be wrong or questionable, that's not counted. And then we all know that a lot of the justifiable ones, like Mike Brown, are hardly that. So the number what we do know is that for the past 2 years, there have been independent outlets that have been collecting this information. If you go to killedbypolice.com, it's a very simple spreadsheet where they have, you know, the person's name and information and then a source for the claim. Over 1,000 people a year.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, more people have been killed by police than the war on terror since 9/11. You're 8 times more likely to be killed by a cop than a terrorist.
And the thing, they're really supposed to protect and serve. We can't. We're not even saved. Like we're not saved. We're not saved.
It's like a war in our own city.
What is your reaction to that?
I mean, I always thought the police were here to protect and serve you. It seems like it's more like a business these days.
There has been a lot of debate lately on whether or not the United States of America is a corporation. One camp suggests that within the U.S. Code and law, it explicitly says the United States of America means a corporation.
Governments want their prices suppressed because as long as nobody is, or not many people, are turning to gold or silver as an escape from the dollar, then the dollar looks pretty good. So they don't want people escaping from the dollar and putting investments in gold and silver.
Explain to you. I will tell you when I have your information.
It doesn't work that way.
Yes, it does work that way.
Can I please see a statute that says that?
Do you really want to go this route?